Hello my dear friends, you're on the Military Summary channel and today we will discuss the situation in Ukraine on the 29th of April. Today we got a lot of very interesting news, so let's discuss them one by one. And first of all, I would like to start with one very important information. I can say that this week and the upcoming week, this information is one of the most important information. I explain to you. The thing that I'll tell you now is the thing that determine the events and the logic of military authorities for the upcoming week. And next week, I can say it will be a logic week. It will be the week with a lot of surprises. It will be a very cruel week. It will be the week, I think, of course, it's my opinion. I don't have like certain information. I'm just using my logic and understanding of the things in this area, in this region, Sea region. So what I'm talking about. Next week is one of the most important holiday in Russia, in the Russian Federation, and Belarus, in Ukraine. At least in Ukraine, if we're talking about Ukraine, it's the very important holiday for the older generation. Next week, on the Sunday of the next week, is the 9th of May. This is a victory day. This is the day when Russians, Belarus, and Ukraine in the past were celebrates the victory day, the victory over the Nazi German country in 1945. West countries, they celebrate this holiday on the 8th of May, and Ukraine from the 2014 they started to celebrate this holiday according to the West calendar. But the Russians and Belarus, they're celebrating this holiday. They celebrate this holiday on the 9th of May. And as I told you just a minute ago, this is one of the most important holiday in this area. The Russians, they have 4 important holidays: New Year, then Christmas. They're celebrating Christmas in January, not in December. Then Easter, and the Victory Day. And we can say that, of course, for example, Easter and Christmas is much more important than this holiday, of course. But for regular people, just for civilians, the Victory Day in Russia and Belarus even more important than these holidays. Of course, nobody said that in loud, because it's like, it can't be like this, right? It's not unlogical, but in their heart, this is the most important holiday ever. The Victory Day. Like in the beginning of this video, I told you that this holiday determines the events and logic, military logic for the next week. What does it mean? The Russians, they like to do something before big events. What does it mean? For example, if you remember, before the Easter, they tried to clear Azov, clear Mariupol from Azov. If you remember, before the Easter, there was a lot of information and news about surrendered Ukrainian soldiers. So before such events, they tried to achieve some success. And of course, it's always like that. It's not just because of this conflict, because of this war, special operation. It always, in every type of war, every type of conflict, everything, like even in peace time, they try to do something like on the edge before these such big holidays, like to achieve success and to celebrate holiday at the same time. So that's mean that they're planning to do something before the 9th of May. They need to show a big result. Of course, they won't be able to, for example, to achieve all their goals in Ukraine during this week, of course, but they need to show something, like 9th of May, Victory Day, and to show people some success, like taking towns, or maybe surrendering a lot of soldiers. So it's their target, and they will plan to do this, and they won't calculate the expenses. to achieve any goal. And everybody there in Russia, they understand that they need to show something to give a result before these holidays. The same thing, the same logic, Ukrainians, they use the same logic. They understand that the 9th of May is a very important holiday for Russians. They understand it very well because they know this. They were, in the past, they were part of these holidays and they know exactly what does this holiday means for the Russians. So that's why they also want to use this holiday to make as much as possible damage to the Russians. I don't know how are they planning to do this, but of course the main goal to ruin Russians' mood and ruin Russians' holiday with some very big Ukrainian success. And it's not only about the Ukrainians and the Russians. Everybody in the world, the West countries, they know exactly that if they want to deal as much as possible damage to the Russians, they need to do it right now, before the 9th of May, before the Victory Day. So next week, I think, of course, my opinion, will be full of and rich of very lot of news, and everybody will try to achieve as much as possible and to show their domination in this area. And on that, let's return to Moldova and to the Pridnestrovia, to this republic. And this is the reason. This is one of the most important. I'm not saying that just only reason. Of course, this is one of the most important reason why West countries decided to start or just to show a vision of that they're planning to do something. We don't know. We will discuss it in a minute later, but exactly this is the perfect time when the West countries and Ukraine can do some operation in Moldova right before the 9th of May. It's the best day to start doing something. And if they are able to achieve a success, I can say that it will be very big damage to the spirit of Russians in this war, because they're very sensitive to this date, very sensitive to the date, and this sensitivity to this date, it's their very weak side of their forces. But after these holidays, there will be no more holidays till I guess summer, when the Independence Day. So there will be a lot of time for the Russians not to suffer anymore and like to do their job, what they're planning to do. But let's continue to discuss the Moldova. First bad flag came today in the morning. We discussed a few days ago, like in 2 days in a row, about the Moldova, about the situation with Romanian trainings, with Poland training, with Ukrainians that were trying to do some trainings in Podolsk and everything near this town Kabasno with this warehouse. But of course, it's just games. It could be just games, like to show each other. It's like games with their muscles and so on, to make nervous and so on. But today, in the morning, this morning, we got the first negative flag in this area. And it was Israeli authorities. They not just asked, not just required, they demanded their civilians from this area immediately to leave Pridnestrovia. The Israeli authorities was the first who demanded from their civilians to do this immediately. In a few hours later, a lot of European countries announced the same. They required to leave this area as fast as possible. And that was another bad flag. The third bad flag this evening came from Odessa. The mayor of this town announced, and it's not allowed to leave this town for men. And as far as I understand, according to his words, Odessa is preparing for something very huge. So it's 3 bad flags in this area. And I think that right before the big holidays, something is going to happen there. Because it's the best time to do this. Like to ruin Russians' holiday mood and so on on these holidays. And of course, Ukrainians, their main idea, of course, to take this warehouse. But let's one more time discuss the the forces of this Pridnestrovia. In my previous video, I told you about the approximate quantity, but I did a small investigation, and according to data I had now, there are 1,500 Russian soldiers. It's like Russian soldiers who have some service there, right? Russian soldiers, 1,500. Around 10,000 of soldiers from it's like civilians from this area. So it's the people, the citizens of this small republic, 10,000. So we have 11,000 and a half. And they have around 60,000 of reserves. So we can see that there are around 71,500 soldiers who can take their gun and to serve and to protect their lands. And I must say, that's a lot. That's really a lot. I can't even imagine how much forces you need to attack these territories. And this is a very interesting question, because now we see that situation is like Ukrainians are planning to attack this area. But if Ukrainians want to attack this area, and if there are around 70,000 soldiers, that means that Ukraine needs at least to have 70,000 soldiers there as well. It's like one-on-one, but they don't have such forces there. They have much more less. They're just, as far as I know, Ukrainians, they have just 2 battalions here, keeping this border. So we'll see what's next in this area. Now we are moving to the north to the Kharkiv area. Today we also got a lot of very interesting news, but they are very opposite from both sides. For example, West Sources map, they're saying that Ukrainian forces, they return control over this town by the name of Ruska Lazava. So Russian, we can try Russian Lazava. Ruska Lazava is the name of the town, and it's a very important position because Russian forces, according to Ukrainian officials, Russian forces, they use this territory as the eyes, or artillery eyes. They correct the artillery fire over the Kharkiv. So we see that this is very close to the Kharkiv, so that's why it's very important for Ukrainians to push Russians from this area as far as possible. For example, we can calculate it's just 5 kilometers. They need them to move at least 10 kilometers somewhere. So you see that over this line. So they need to clear this territory from Russians. Like, it's the question of their surviving in this area, because Russians, they're bombing them very much and very heavy. It's according to the Ukrainian officials, and it was included into Ukrainian morning report, military report, that they managed to clear this territory. But in the evening, the same day, they told nothing about this town. And if we take a look at the Russian map, we see that this town is still under Russians. So we'll see what's next. I think that if Ukrainians really took this town, captured this town, that means that in a day or two, this map will be updated and we will see the result. But for now, we see that Ukrainians, they're working in this area and it's very important for them. So let's follow after their success. Now let's move to the most interesting and most exciting part of Lyman area. You see these sites. Yes, it's like, I don't know how to call it. It's bombing, it's blowing, it's heavy clashing here. So it's a real hell on the earth. If you ask me where is the hell on the earth, I can tell you that Lyman area is the hell on the earth. I can't even describe you what is going on there. But let's talk about the important thing. If you remember, a few days ago, I told you that Ukrainians, they blown up this bridge in this area. This one bridge they blow right before this cross, before this road split into part. One leads to Seversk and another part leads to Slavyansk. But today, Ukrainians, they blow this bridge. But they blow not the road bridge, they blow the railroad bridge. So and of course, that means that they're leaving this area. It's obviously they're not planning to stay there. It's not a question if Russians are able to take this town or if they're not. It's just a question of time. How long Ukrainians are planning to hold these areas and when are they planning to leave this territory for all. And this is now we're moving back about the question of the 9th of May and about some very nice news before the holidays for the Russians that they did achieve something. And important news came today from this area. Also, this is very interesting area because two maps, they show different picture about this area. For example, if you take a look at West map, you can see that this town, Askil, is under the Russians. But according to this map, this town is not under Russians. Even this town is not in the gray zone. So that means that Russian sources, they're saying that Ukrainians are still there. And what is important about this town? Now, a few days ago, I told you many times that you see this dam here. It's like River Askil, this dam. And Ukrainians, they blew up this dam, and there was a lot of water here, and that issue stopped Russian invasion for a few weeks. I remember they didn't do anything here for about 2 weeks, and after those 2 weeks, they started the operation and they achieved a great success. But what is important, according to Russian official sources, they're saying that they managed to surround around 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers in this area. I can't tell you exactly where this 1,000 is, or they're on this side, on Italian skill, or they're here. But the information was that they were totally surrounded and totally blocked, and they not just they don't have any possibilities to leave this area. They won't leave this. They will leave this territory only if they surrender. This is the only case how they can leave this territory. Or will they stand there in this land forever? But what's very interesting about this? Ukraine's command, they ordered these guys. As far as I understand, maybe it was these forces were in the forest, like maybe a sabotage group, very big sabotage group in quantity of 1,000 soldiers, maybe, who knows. And Ukraine's command, they ordered them to attack Izium. So as far as I understand, maybe we are talking about Askol this time, Askol, or maybe this, I don't know. But Ukrainians, they command them to attack Izium. Of course, they tried to do this, but as I understood, they didn't try hard, because maybe they understood everything, and they were spotted. Russians, they attacked them, and after that, Ukrainians from here, they send a secret message using their secret lines to Ukrainians command, asking to help them for breaking through, like to leave this area. Imagine 1,000 soldiers were asking Ukrainian command to help them to break through this area and to leave this territory. So that means they're really surrounded, and their situation very bad. And I don't know, maybe it was just a joke, like the next part of this story. But Russian sources, they are saying that Ukrainian command, they send them a secret message from their side, and the secret message consists of 5 words. It was the Russian names. As far as I remember, it was, for example, Nikita, Ivan, some name on the letter H, Ulyana, and for example, Yana. They sent five names. And of course, it was a secret message. You need to take the first letters of each of these names, like 5 names, first letters of each name, and you will get the word. And of course, maybe it's just a joke, maybe a story about how the things going on and so on. Maybe it's just Russian propaganda. I don't know. I'm just trying to tell you what kind of stories today lives in Russian segment of internet. And if you take these 5 letters, you will have a very bad word. N, I, H, U, Ya. So it's like a very bad word, and I don't want to translate it, but it's a very bad word. That means that Ukrainian commands, they refuse to help these Ukrainian soldiers. And that's it for today. Thank you for your watching. Subscribe to my channel and enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.